My name is Macaulay Kressler, and I chose my topic to be on the electric toaster. Because who doesn't like good old toast in the morning? It's a great breakfast on the go. If you have to get up, you need to go somewhere quick, might as well just throw some bread in the toaster, pop it down, continue your morning, get you everything ready, come back down. Like when you're about to leave, it pops up on its own, ready for you. You get to throw some butter on it. You can throw some peanut butter on it. You can throw whatever you want on it, and it's fantastic. Some history of the toaster. The toaster was an amazing invention created by Alan McMaster in 1893. He was a man who lived in Scotland who didn't originally call his invention the electric toaster. He originally called it the eclipse toaster. This was a great invention because it made more use of time, made everything more efficient. Didn't have to turn on the stove and put a little grill thing over it in order to just manually toast your bread and watch it and make sure you don't burn it too much. And it's a more consistent heat compared to flame, which is always nice. In 1921, the American Charles Strite was the inventor of the pop-up toaster, which was very nice because instead of having to manually flip over your toast all the time, you just put it in the slot, press down, and then eventually you can pop it back up on its own. It will toast both sides. And the term toast, where the word toaster is derived from, comes from the words torrere and tostum. I might be mispronouncing those, but they are of Latin origin, meaning to burn or scorch, which is how toast is made. Products launched a toaster in the 1940s where a principle called radiant control was used. This means that a sensor is activated by the heat from the bread's surface and not from the heating element, which is always nice because sometimes the heating element, it can be at a certain heat, it'll turn off, but then your bread's still not toasted, and you put it back down and come back and your bread is now burnt. You have no more good toast, it's bad toast, you have to try again. But this was an invention where the wait's temperature of 154 degrees Celsius essentially would automatically turn off the heating element, which means that it senses when the bread is at the correct temperature and has been toasted long enough that it will turn it off and pop up the toast. And then you have perfectly good toast, and it doesn't matter if your toast is frozen or if it wasn't. It's a great invention. It's a huge step up for the toaster. And on the side here, you see this is what a 1920s toaster looked like and compared to a 1940s. You can tell over just a span of 20 years there was a lot of change. And here is my timeline of the toasters. Back in the 1900s, you saw a picture of the original toaster, of how it looked and how you always had to flip everything. But as you progress through time, you see that there's been many changes, including adding double side heating to the toast, so the toast gets heat on both sides and you don't have to flip it. You have 4 slice toasters, which are very nice. You have more advanced, until eventually in the future we'll have see-through toasters where you don't even have to put in a component. You just put it and you can watch the toast I guess right in front of your eyes, which is going to be very cool. The current use of toasters, the bread toaster uses 800 to 1500 watts of energy when in use, and an average toaster will use around 1200 watts. Toasters nowadays are very simple looking as well as can be super abstract. Toasters now come in all shapes and sizes. You can have your solo 2-slice one, or you can have a 4-slice one. I would recommend the 4-slice one because, well, you never know. If you have company over, you don't want to be have your toast get cold by the time that theirs is done. No, you want to have all 4 slices ready so you can eat together. And with them coming in all shapes and sizes, there's all sorts of cool ones. I used to have a Green Bay Packers one. It was in the shape of a football, and you would put the bread in and toast it. But excuse me. But as it toasted, it would specifically have a hotter source area, which ended up implementing a Green Bay Packers logo. It burnt in a Green Bay Packers logo into my toast. So I had a nice crispy toast, as well as a little burnt emblem that was very cool looking. It was just a little something that made me appreciate it a little bit more. This is just a schematic of the toaster. And, nothing wrong